I'm super excited to share my journey with you. It's been a long one. I started in the industry of direct sales when I was 21 years old, but it goes so much deeper than that. When I was 6 years old, my mom actually started with a company in multi-level marketing to really help bring money home for our family. My dad was nudging at her saying, hey, listen, we need some extra income. You've been home with the kids for almost 10 years. I need some help. They're busy. They're in softball, dance, band, all the things. And I could really use some help with finances. So she was looking for a way that she could be home with us still, get us off the bus, give us our snacks, help us with our homework, and still have her own life too. That time freedom is so important. So she started with a company when I was 6 years old, and she was with that company for 6 years before she discovered our Skinny Wrap. My mom actually helped found this company, so I grew up with It Works. And I was 12 when she discovered the wrap and started the company and started building the field with our CEO, Mark Pentecost. So I grew up with this company, but I never envisioned myself doing this. I was always her cheerleader. I was going to all of her sip and samples at people's homes, and I was helping her wrap people's bellies, and I was helping her collect the cash in the homes, and I was going to events with her where I would see people walking across stages having, paid off their debt, living in their dream bodies, their bodies looking amazing from losing weight with us, from coming home and being home with their kids full time, retiring their spouses. I had heard all the stories. I had seen all the things. I was super proud of her and Mark for building this company, but I truly never saw myself doing this. I had a different path ahead of me. I was going to be a fashion buyer. So I was in the fashion industry in college. I have a degree in fashion merchandising. I have a Bachelor of Arts from Virginia Commonwealth University. So I was living in Richmond, Virginia when the economy crashed. And here I was, 21 years old, watching my friends get out of college and they could not get jobs. They couldn't get jobs, they weren't getting paid, they were sleeping on their parents' couch, they had 2 and 3 jobs on the side, working in coffee shops because that's all they could do. They literally couldn't get jobs. So I don't know if you remember that time. I'd be really surprised if you could. But that time, 2008, 2009, really affected a lot of people financially, emotionally, spiritually. There were just a lot of shifts in the economy. It even affected the fashion industry. Before you knew it, we were social, right? Before you know it, the world of fashion was going social. We know that now just in the success that we have It Works on social media, but at the time it looked like everything was chaos. Everything was changing. What's going to happen? And I didn't feel like I had job security. In fact, I was getting paid a lot at the last job I had that I was working commission based in a clothing store, working really part-time. But it turns out that might have been too much for my employer. It might have been too much because I was really good at what I did. So one day I go to work and I'm taken off the schedule. I was completely taken off the schedule. This was 2 months before I was going to study abroad in Italy, and I was saving every penny I made, every single penny I made at that job. And I walked in one day and didn't have one anymore. And I'll tell you, I boo-hooed like a little baby. I threw a temper tantrum. I was so upset. I'm like, how can you do this to me? I'm your best employee. I love what I do. I felt like such a victim. But immediately when I talked to my mom, she's one of my biggest influences. She's like, you cannot let this affect you. This is happening for you. And sure it was. Because it spurred something in me, something so deep that said, I will no longer let anyone determine my destiny. Nobody else could ever determine my destiny anymore. It was time for me to put my own name on something. And so for the first time ever, here I was, 21 years old, turning to my mom and going, okay, I'm curious. I've heard all the stories. I know this business works. I see our lifestyle changing as a family. We're vacationing more. You're renovating your house. What is the deal? I want that type of success for myself. So how do I be successful? And that's when my mom mapped out steps to success for me. And she told me exactly what I need to do. She showed me the roadmap and she said, if you will do this, you will be successful. And so within my first year, I had 1 year for graduation. I was in my senior year of college. And I decided for that entire year I was going to build my business and I was going to do exactly what she told me to do. So I had my first event at a friend's house, and here's what I saw. So I was 21 years old, and I had my girlfriends over at my friend's apartment, and they came over to have a sip and sample for me. And they were going to try the product, they were going to try our skinny wrap, and I was going to do a little simple bar setup like a presentation, and I was going to expose them to the product. 6 girls came to my first event, and here's what I witnessed. All 6 girls tried the product, paid me cash for it, and every single one of them became my customer that day. And when I realized, this big light bulb went off. And with that light bulb moment, I realized that these girls never once stepped foot in my store. The clothes were too expensive. It wasn't priority. And I realized in a down economy, at college student level, at 21, 22 years old, these girls wanted what I had, and they were willing to pay for it. So I knew if they wanted it, everyone would want it. I realized that I had my hand on a golden ticket, because I realized that no matter where the economy is, people still wanted vanity. Girls, you know it. We still find a way to get our hair done. We still find a way to get our nails done. We still find a way to look cute, because that's what matters to us. It matters that we feel good from the inside out, from the outside in, right? And so I realized I had my hands on something big, and I got really excited. So I decided for an entire year, for that entire year that I was in college, I was going to work this very part-time on the side. That I was going to make decisions, that I was going to work this very part-time on the side from my phone, from my computer, in the off hours from studying, and I was going to make this business work. My first goal was $500 a month, and I was making that very quickly. And I turned that $500 a month dream into a 5-figure a month income within my first year. And I realized no one was hiring was going to pay me that. I realized that I had so much financial freedom at my fingertips that I could be 22 years old and build this business, not only change my life, but change the lives of the people that I was touching and reaching with this opportunity too, and with these products. So I decided to go full time. Despite my degree, I'm so grateful for it, but I realized I didn't need it anymore. I was going to be an It Works girl, and I was going to go all in, and I was going to change not only my life, but all the lives around me for years to come. And so within my first 3 years, I had promoted to the top position of the company, which is Ambassador Diamond. 2 years after that, I turned it into $1 million income. That means I had made $1 million within this company within my first 5 years, and still all under the age of 30. And so I have earned multiple millions of dollars since, but I have also changed lives along the way of our team. We have millionaires within our organization. We have 5-figure monthly earners within our organization. It's been a lot of fun over this last decade. And I look back at that girl, that 21-year-old girl whose dream was to make $500 a month. And now when I look at my kids, I have 2 little boys. I have Kennedy, who's my oldest, and Miles is my youngest. My husband, Scott, he's home with us full time, working his own career. And we're home with our babies. We just bought land to build our dream home. And I think about all those things. I think about that little girl that wanted to make $500 a month, and the woman that I've grown into, and the fact that I haven't missed a single milestone moment with my children, not one, because this business has allowed me to work from home, from my cell phone. So I want you to think about those places that you are in your life right now, the time that you want to spend with your family, your kids, your husband, the places you want to go, the things you want to accomplish. And I want to encourage you that it's okay to dream big. It's okay to want all the things. It's okay to spoil yourself. It's okay to live a life with more, and that this business can provide that for you. If you're willing to take a few hours out of your day to focus on this, despite everything you have going on. I get it. You can have a full-time job, you can have a part-time job, you can have a whole mess of kids, whatever your situation, and you can work this business a few hours a day part-time, and you too can be as extremely successful. You too can accomplish some of your most wildest, most wonderful dreams, because this business works for you. You've got the roadmap, you've got your why, and now you know exactly what to do, and I'm here to guide you. This team is here to guide you, and we want you to be successful. So thanks for listening.